This is another 419 Grind exclusive. Wake up, Toledo. Wake your ass up. You're listening to the 419 Grind's Rise and Grind Morning Show. Rep your city. Visit us online at the419grind.com.
Is just around the corner, and once again, Ohioans have 3 good choices for how to vote. Polls will be open on November 3rd, and early in-person voting is available through November 2nd. You can also request and cast an absentee ballot from the convenience of your own home. No matter which method you choose, you can be confident that your vote is secure and your voice will be heard. Let's vote, Ohio. Go to voteohio.gov for voting locations and hours. Sponsored by Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose, aired by the OAB and this station.
Good Tuesday morning, October 27th. You're tuned in to the all-new Rise and Grind Morning Show, presented to you by the 419 Grind Podcast Network. It's your boy, Big Treese, and I'm in the studio with the Let's Get Hype, Let's Get Crunk, Leah Renee on that Tuesday.
Hey.
Good morning, Leah.
Good morning. Hey, everybody.
Good morning to all our listeners and our grinders. We got a great show planned for you today. You know what? We gonna get straight to it. Expect the unexpected. This is the #1 urban podcast, radio podcast in the country. And you know what, Leah? Ain't nobody mad but the haters.
Period, Pooh.
Again, we want to say good morning to all our grinders, those that's listening to us on all of our live stream platforms, iHeart, Google Music, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, we streaming live. We are the #1 urban radio podcast, Leah.
Yes.
And, you know, we're going to give them something to talk about this morning because we know it's some folks riding around the city. And it felt pretty good today. It wasn't that bad as far as when I stepped out of the house this morning.
Yeah, well, I don't know. For me, it was a little chipper.
Okay.
Bitter, chipper, however you want to put it. It was cold. It was brisk for me anyway. Okay. I'm going to have to start pulling out that winter coat because these hoodies are not doing the job anymore. I'm going to have to pull out a North Face or something because it's cold out there. It's currently 41 degrees and cloudy.
Yeah, that's a little brisk. I was, okay.
There's no sun whatsoever. See, I don't have any adipose tissue is what my sister tells me, and so that means I don't have a lot of fat on my body to keep me warm.
You trying to be funny? Shots fired. Big ups to everybody that's big. They got adipose.
I wish I had. I'm trying to get some more adipose tissue on me. I'm trying to gain some weight so that I can, don't have to be so cold all the time. But yeah, it's currently 41 degrees and cloudy. It's going to only get up to a high of 45 today. So we're not going to see too much, we're not going to see too much increase in the temperature. It's going to get 45 and it's going to be pretty cloudy all day. So expect that fall weather going throughout the day. Wednesday, it's going to be 53. We'll get up a few more degrees on Wednesday with some sun. So that'll be a nicer day. Thursday is going to be 48 and some rain. So make sure you have your umbrellas on Thursday. And Friday, it's going to get up to only 44 and it's going to be sunny too. So traffic, we got some road work planned at State Route 579 going both directions. This is near Genoa Clay Center Road and North Nissan Road. And that's closed for drainage work and curb installation. So the estimated completion date is November 2nd. And it says to take the detour from State Route 51 to State Route 163 to State Route 590. To State Route 2. So people who are in that area.
Y'all got to go a roundabout wherever y'all driving.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming, people in that area know that area, so people who are normally in that area taking that route, I'm sure they know, which way to go. And there'll be signs up. So just make sure you give yourself extra time if you are in that area to take the detour because there will be a detour until November 2nd. So that's your weather and traffic for the day.
And also just mindful, good morning. Be careful on the roads wherever you might be traveling throughout the state, wherever you might be listening to us. Again, be careful. Watch out for the other driver, no distracted drivers. We always say that, no texting and driving, but just being aware of the other vehicles alongside. Check your rear views, check your side view mirrors as you travel. Because here in the 419, Leah, I think some kids are going back to school today.
Yeah. Like you said, a lot of kids have already went back to school, but TPS still had the 3rd through 12th graders out that were still doing the virtual learning. And they had made the decision to send back all the TPS students between the grades of 3rd, K through 12, but K through 2 went back a couple weeks ago. So it was supposed to be 3rd grade through 12th grade was supposed to go back today. And then they decided that they don't want high school students to go back because they think that they're not going to social distance and do what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
So now we have the 3rd through 8th graders of TPS who are going back today, including, my son is included in that group. So he's going back to Kaiser this morning. So, sending special love to all the kiddos that are going back today. I had to have that talk with him this morning. Make sure, us as parents, we have to make sure we have that talk and keep reiterating to our kids. I told him, I said, hey, the pandemic is still here. It's still coronavirus. You have a baby sister at home. We don't want you bringing any nasty germs back. I said, so you have to keep your mask on. You have to make sure you keep washing your hands, anytime you use the bathroom and just frequently throughout the day. Don't be getting up, running around. Keep your distance, social distance. So yeah, we have to make sure we have those conversations with our kids, reiterate it, drum it into their brain, because we're in what they call the new normal. So we have to get them in this new habit of, living this new way and being cautious and safe, because this coronavirus, it's still around. It's not going anywhere.
Yep. And you're actually right in terms of the practice. And it's going to be tough. That's the mindset that we know we have to. It's going to be tough. It's going to be unique that we are getting our kids, especially our older kids. They're wanting to see their friends. They're excited about being in school. So it ain't. So actually, the first learning curve, it's not a lot of teaching. It's a lot of behavior and conduct.
Yeah.
More so trying to teach me
Learn behavior. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we got a lot of our educators, again, thanking our educators, that's going to take the time
absolutely.
And have the patience with that excitement of that third grader, that 8th grader that's excited to see their friends.
Yeah.
And so, no, I don't necessarily want to wear my mask. And so I definitely agree with you. Want to give some love to my nieces and nephews and my son, who this virtual learning piece is, it has been a learned behavior for us too.
Oh yeah. I haven't too much had to, thank goodness for the Davis family, my Davis family. They've kind of they had taken over that role of the virtual setting.
Okay.
And I would take my kids over there, even when they were doing the virtual learning. They would still get up in the mornings, get dressed, and have to go over to their grandparents' house, to keep that structure and keep that. And they were on top of it, and they've been on top of it. So I thank God for them, because when I was doing that by myself at the end of last year, me and my mom, we were.
It is a learning experience. So again, thank you to our young folks that will get a chance to look back at this, because they will listen to the #1 urban radio podcast show. And again, to our teaching professionals, and like you said, Leah, even the parents and the guardians, we're all in this. It is a difficult piece right now with that. So today, getting started back here in some of our TPS schools that our kids are going back to school. To your point about the COVID, in the Washington Post, we saw there was a report made that the hospitals across the country are being flooded with COVID-19 patients.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm still seeing, our essential workers posting on social media saying, shout out to my girl, Ashley. I love her to death. She's in the medical field, and she put up a post just the other day, said, I'm scared. I'm working in this COVID unit. I'm so scared. I'm too young to die. Like, she's literally scared to get sick and lose her health. And she's got kids at home. And it's still a serious thing that's facing all of us. And, some more concerned about it than others. People, especially essential workers who are really on the front line, who are in the medical field, who are seeing this every day and seeing the real ramifications of people not taking it serious. It's still a tough battle, and we got to continue to be cautious and take it serious.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And so those that are recovering, those that went through it, those that have experienced it, those that have been impacted by COVID-19, we ask, again, continue blessings, and God to continue to watch over your family. With that, Leah, with that being said, I don't know. It's so for me, it's a gray area. We're seeing more cases than we saw before the pandemic, and they're not shutting anything down.
Man, I don't know.
So for me, and this is my viewpoint, are we able to control it? Because we see people that may contract it, but then all of a sudden they say quarantine and isolate yourself for 14 days and you'll be good.
Right.
So it's a strand of the flu that we know. So again, those that experience it, but to your point of those families that may have a little one or those vulnerable family members and or someone who has a weak immune system.
Yeah.
That's what we get a little bit nervous about. So again, we want to wrap our arms right here on the all new Rise and Grind Morning Show to those that may have experience in that. And again, we thank you for listening. We got grinders this morning. Just want to take a moment to give love to some of our grinders, our executive producer, and the gentleman who helped start this podcast, Jesse Coleman, Dr. Victor J. Coleman,
Yes.
Stevie Steve,
Shout out to the
RC,
brothers.
Byron Daniels, my cousin Tony in Nashville, Royal Love, Ashley Green, Donetta. Hey, good morning. Thank y'all for grinding with us this morning. Each and every morning. We really appreciate you grinding with us. We got a great show today. We gonna get a chance to, talk some real talk with some leading officials around the state that I think some folks been wanting to weigh in anyway. One of the things that's changing, right, Leah, we're seeing voting, right? Here's the jingle right now. We're in the 2020 presidential campaign and voting. You seeing all these people talk about voting. I heard on the show about a week ago, you and DJ Breezy, RC, Arlinda, Lance, y'all were talking about Ice Cube and this whole voting piece. I actually enjoy people who have those platforms using their platforms to help influence others. So I'm not knocking Ice Cube. He actually got a documentation that I guarantee that platinum plan that he had, somebody gonna take some of the things, just like he got the information from someone. Someone's gonna take that information and try to use it.
Yeah.
But we want to crucify him for having a plan when most of the time, a lot of our celebrities and our entertainers, they'll just endorse a candidate but don't have no plan behind it.
Exactly.
And you don't hear nothing else from that person.
Exactly. And I think like we were talking about that day, I just believe that we all know enough about Ice Cube. I mean, as far as who he is as a artist and entertainer and things like that, that I think, like what I said was that I believe that he solidified enough to know that, like, if he went and sat down with Trump, it was more or less to really try to figure out how can we bridge this gap and what can we do, how can we start a conversation that will benefit us as a people, and I don't think it was to work for him or endorse him. I think he was literally sitting down with our best interest at heart and really wanted to try to figure out a way how to bridge that gap. And so I was here for it. Like, I'm down for that. Now, also in other headlines, Waka Flocka is getting some flack because he basically, allegedly, he's basically kind of saying that he feels Trump has done a better job than what Obama did as a president.
And there's some people that's talking like that.
Yeah, and I don't want to quote, word for word. I don't have the exact quote of what he said, but allegedly he's saying, that he feels that Trump has done a better job, that than what Obama has. And actually, I've heard, I was actually just personally having a conversation with someone a couple of days ago that said the same thing. Like, they feel like Trump has done a better job. And I think a lot of people feel that way because of like a money situation. Like, you know, they are saying, I think people that have that opinion are more or less like, oh, you know, my money has gotten good over the last 4 years, or I've, you know, my business has soared, or I ain't been hurting, you know. So it's kind of like, well, I don't really like him, but at the end of the day, when it comes to business, this guy knows what he's doing. That's what I've heard some people say. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
It's just really the character.
Trace, have you bubbled the last 4 years?
No, I haven't. I've been bubbling my whole life.
For sure. I love it.
So, and I say that because for me, and I am unique, I know that. I don't care who's in office.
Right.
Obama,
right.
Jimmy Carter, President Bush.
You gonna make it happen.
Man, I'm going to make it happen.
Because the good Lord is going to make it happen.
Man, I'm going to rise and grind.
Mm-hmm.
And I know whom I am and who I am.
That's right.
Now, that doesn't mean that those that's listening to us, those that's following me, my sons, my nieces, our daughters, yes, I want them to see how to be of good character. 45 struggles with that. He's a businessman, so of course the business, the profit changes the purpose sometimes for an individual.
Right.
Yet and still, I think that we also just have to keep in mind who do we want our kids to emulate? Yeah. Who do we want them to see?
Exactly.
And if that's the case, is that somebody we want our kids to take after and treat people?
Right.
No,
I don't think so.
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I mean, this is basic things. You know, treat others how you want to be treated. Respect is given. You know, I mean, respect is not given; it's earned. And he doesn't follow any of these basic, these basic things. You know, so it's like, no, I don't think I want my child. But I think these are all very teachable moments too for our children.
Great point, Leah.
These are all teachable moments for ourselves and our children to educate ourselves, just like we were all saying that one day. We have to do our research. We can't just sit back and depend on like
somebody to come help us and change it for us.
Exactly. We have to do our research. We have to know what's going on in our communities and in our nation. We have to know what we can do. Who can we vote? Who can we vote into power that can change the narrative for us, you know? And if we don't even know these simple basic things, then of course you feel like your vote doesn't matter, you know? I mean, your vote matters if you do the research, if you know what's going on, if you know which issues to vote for, because it's not even just about the people. It's about the issues. You're wondering why the sports have been taken away. You're wondering why these things have been taken out of schools. It's because of them issues you didn't vote for years ago, you know, that they've been trying to harp on us about. So, you know, it's all those things.
One of the things that we have to keep in mind is who the hell are you? You that's listening, who are you? Are you confident in who you are? Can you get the job done? No matter what the circumstance, black people are a creature of survival.
Yeah.
So I say that, Leah, because people struggle with finding out who the hell they is. What's your identity? Mm-hmm. Some people are trying, and what's your why? We always talk about what's your why this morning if you're listening. What is your purpose? Who the hell you trying to be? Ain't nobody gonna be better than Montrese. And I'm good with that because I done found my lane. And I'm good. So some people that struggles with identity are trying to find their position. Yeah. And then some of us know our position. Leah, I know that I am a convicted felon. I know that I am a kid from Belmont. And everything that I put my works into, if I stay consistent, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, because you've watched it happen and you've watched God work in your life. And at the end of the day, like, nobody can take that from you.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I know. Like, I was even watching Sarah Jakes Roberts this morning, and she was talking about how at the end of the day, like, you can't sit up and complain when you've watched God work in your life. And I was like, dang, that's powerful. Because I personally, like, I don't know about nobody else. And I feel bad for people who feel, you know, who don't know God or who feel like they haven't seen him work in their life. Like, because I know he works in everybody's life. So it's just a matter of if you've really realized it and seen it happen. I've seen it happen time and time again, and I'm thankful for that. But it's like when you know he's shown up, even when, and that don't mean that I don't have still moments of struggle. You know, when I go through those moments of struggle, all I do is remember that, like, he always shows up
and show out.
and shows out
Like
every time.
Right now, just hit the love button right now. If you are listening to this and you have a sound mind,
Yes.
a sound body, and you know there's favor on your life, hit the love button right now. Hit the like button because
Yes.
can't nobody do me like the good Lord.
Period. Because
and we
it's
ain't
not
gonna-
about just the blessings and the financial and the
My family
and the
good. My
tangible
kid,
blessings.
Leah,
It's
you
about
good.
it's about your health. It's about, like he said, your mental state. Like if you wake up every morning and you're happy. Like there's some people who cannot wake up and be happy. They don't know how. They can't. You know what I mean? And you should just be thankful for being able to get up and be happy. You know, some people.
And you
can't
know what? And
experience
that's why
that.
our words, we have to be mindful of what comes out of our mouth.
Yeah.
Because you just made me think about something, Leah, when you said that. Do I have to get up happy? What do I got help? If my life is in a misery,
Yeah.
why do I have to get up being happy, Leah?
Yeah, I mean, and some people can't. That's the thing about it. Like some people really wake up in the morning and they just don't know how to be happy. Like they don't understand what happiness is, and they can't get it, and they can't find it, and you know, it's sad.
And it's not really, and I don't look at it like that. So I really don't want to put a somber moment on it because it's not sad. It's a reality. I was
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah.
and it had over the last 3 days it has grown. The Mike Tyson and the Boosie podcast. If you have not seen it, if you have
I'm gonna
not
have to check
seen
that out.
the Mike Tyson,
That's an interesting combination.
but Mike Tyson is he's in a whole different spirit.
Yeah.
And Boosie is still charged, and Mike like, nigga, who is you? And so, if you have not, right now it's
gonna have to
over.
check that out.
It's on YouTube. Just put in Mike Tyson and Boosie. There are over 14 million views
Wow.
in 3 days from that podcast
Oh, yeah.
on Hotbox. But one thing that Mike said is that you got to love more.
Yeah.
And one of the things that in the other couple shows before he had the real Rick Ross on there, and they want to do something for homelessness, right? So Mike was asking Rick Ross, what can we do for homeless people? Why are people homeless? Working in the social service field, 75% of homeless people do not want to follow guidelines and rules.
Yeah, that's what I heard that, and I was like, that's so crazy.
Because right now in our time, and we'll say here in the 419, we have a slew of resources for people not to be homeless.
Yeah.
But you got to come in and follow my rules.
Right.
And if my mental health is not stable and I don't want to be around other people in that manner, I want to live and do what I want to do, Leah, I'm not going to go into a
Yeah.
facility and follow no guidelines and no rules
Yeah.
until it get cold.
Right.
When it get below zero, some still manage to maintain in that weather. But homelessness is because somebody got to follow rules and they don't want to follow rules.
That's why out in LA there's the what's it, Skid Row.
Okay.
Every time I'm out, and have you ever been out there?
No, but they were talking
Oh
about
my
it
God.
today.
Every time I go out to LA, I go down Skid Row. I have videos in my phone I can show you. It's crazy. I mean, there's people who
Have made their home.
it's literally like there's neighborhoods. It's neighborhoods full of them, and there's some that are like nicer than others. There's some that have like 3 and 4 tents put together. It's like a actual looks like a 3-4 bedroom tent.
Absolutely.
Home, you know what I mean? And there's there's one group that's like artists, a group of artists who are out there trying to make it, it's like it's people out there. I don't know. So it's just crazy because there's, like you said, a lot of those people. There was a documentary, someone who did a documentary and went out there and interviewed people out on Skid Row and asked them, why are you out here? And people were saying, like, I'm out here because I want to be out here. I don't want to have to go by the guidelines of what you people think is right or what
Absolutely.
I'm fine where I am at. I'm happy where I'm at,
And just think about that, Leah. Just think about that for a moment. We worry about what other people, that's where we talk about, for me to have a good year, I got to have 6 months of minding my business and 6 months of leaving yours alone. And that's a damn good year for me.
Right.
But we get concerned with other people's business.
Yeah, too much.
And we think that, we got to provide for them. Like you just said, Leah, and some people will say, I'm good.
I'm good. I didn't ask for your help. Yeah.
And it's and now there are some that we think they have to, because we think oftentimes, Leah, that because we want to be helpers. That's what mankind is. That's what people want to do. And shout out to everybody who want to help, because I love helping.
Yeah.
But damn it, if you don't want to help and that person, don't get mad because they don't want your help or your suggestions or your opinion or your idea. Leave me the hell alone.
You have to understand when people are ready and when they're not ready, because some people they don't, like you said, they just don't want the help. They're not looking to better their situation, because in their eyes their situation doesn't need to be bettered, you know what I mean? And so it's like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water but you cannot make them drink.
I see one of our grinders, Stevie Steve, says, very humbling to see. It is. And one reason that is humbling, it
is,
but I take it back to the neighborhood I grew up in. I am from Toledo, Ohio. Southside, Belmont, 1000 for life.
Okay, then.
All right. Big shout out to the East Side, West Side, and the rest of Toledo. And Toledo to the world. Leah, they said we grew up in poverty. Man, if that was poverty.
Right.
That's what society put on us.
Yeah.
Leah, my family, I come from a strong family. The Caseys and the Terrys. Hit anybody that has a strong family and come from a strong family, hit the heart button right now. We're doing it for all the last names that people stand on. Leah, what's your last name?
Pearson.
Pearson.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Philip Pearson. He was, and I don't know, y'all might be related. I don't know if it's the same, spelled the same way, or my dude that just got married, PJ. Last name is Pearson, but I don't know if y'all spell it the same way.
No, I don't think I'm related to anybody in Toledo. I'm actually there's only like a couple of us Pearsons in our family. So
what's the other side of your family? The Pearsons and the...
My mom's side is the Hymas family.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and I say that because, Leah, some of us come from very strong family components.
Yeah.
And in our neighborhoods, if that was poverty with the love and the things that we receive, man, that's what it's about. And you know what? We got a caller, already that's weighing in, and we want to hear what that caller has to say.
Okay,
joining the conversation. Good morning on the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Who's our caller?
What's going on, bro? This is Stevie Steve, man. How you doing, man?
Hello?
Good morning, Grinder. You're grinding with us. Oh, they still sleep. It's all right.
I can't hear anything.
It's all right. What's up, Stevie Steve? How you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I was just calling you.
What we're going to do is we're going to get this together so that we can make sure that we hear you. And also, Stevie Steve, call right back. Thank you for weighing into the conversation. We're going to get our technical sounds together because we want to weigh in on that. And thank you, because it's a great morning and the Harris family is strong. So call right back, Steve.
Okay.
Does the Bluetooth have to be up?
Yes, we appreciate you guys bearing with us. As we always say, this is a grassroots show, and we experience technical difficulties from time to time. Shout out to our junior engineer, Pt1. He gets us together, and he's going to get us together real quick so we can weigh in. I mean, let our callers weigh in because we want to hear from you guys. Shout out to our boy Stevie Steve, a loyal listener. He's we both know him, and he's a Belmont boy, right? Yeah,
absolutely,
definitely. He grew up on Belmont. I know that, and yeah, shout out to all them Belmont boys.
And not just that, I just want to say to Toledo, and that's why it is
Toledo.
It is so important. I see Crystal's weighing in, the Riley family, Mama Riley.
Shout out to my cousin Kara. We were just talking about the Hymas family. Yep. My cousin Kara's on the live. I love you, Kara.
And the reason, again, the reason that how that conversation came up, if you're just joining us, is really when they talk about our conditions and what we see as people, and we think that is bad. When some people like, leave me alone, I'm good.
Right.
I'm gonna make it. Regardless. When we talk about our leaders, those that want to serve us, some of us is, Leah, okay with where we're at.
Yeah.
Don't try to force your thought process on how my life should be.
Exactly.
Because then you're going to meet agitation. You're going to meet rejection. You're going to get some people pissed off at you.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to put what you think I should be in the box. No, that's reality.
No, it's true.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
But to those that's listening right now, wherever you might be listening.
I think too, like, we also have to, because that's something I've had to work on, I get in these modes where I'm like, I don't want people to put me in a box. Don't try to put me in a box. But we also have to learn to not be so combative. And so, we have to learn how to take the advice and the constructive criticism, because sometimes, you don't want the help, but you need it, And so.
Oh, wait. You said you need it.
Yeah, sometimes you do need the help, even though you don't think you want it or you don't think you need it. You really
Great
do.
point.
So, we have to stop being so quick to be like, I don't need your help. I don't want your help.
Yeah.
It's okay to accept help sometimes.
Great point, Leah. When we talk about a balance, do you have a balance in your life? Steve, definitely call back, weigh in on the conversation. We may have our system together. But, Leah, we need that balance. I don't care what nobody say. You can't do nothing in this life by yourself.
At all.
And you need a balance. It might be a word. It might be help. It might be time. It might just be somebody that got your back.
Yeah.
Didn't have to say snap.
Yeah.
Shit. But I got your back.
Yeah.
And that, Leah, sometimes is more important than anything that you get done.
Yeah, that's like the most important thing.
That's why I love sports, Leah, and that's why, and I love the position that I played in sports. I played football, but I played lineman. And in that position, Leah, I had to rely on the man next to me if we gonna get down this field.
Yeah.
I didn't have the glory to look like the quarterback or the running back or the wide receiver. No, I had to get here with these big boys, and we had the trenches.
Knock it out.
We had to hash it out, Leah. I wasn't a little quick skill person and all that stuff. And so when we talk about those that you need a team in your life.
Yeah.
You cannot do nothing alone. So if you're driving down the road, somebody built that car you in. You're thinking about somebody else because nothing is in a individual manner. Even boxers, right? We're considered the hand capital of the world because of all of our success in boxing.
Yeah.
So yes, Leah, somebody might be in that ring by themselves. But what happens when that bell rings? Where do they go back to? After that bell rings, after that round, where do they go back to? Their corners. Mm-hmm. Who's standing in their corners?
Their like coach or manager or whatever. Yeah.
And manager. So your team is waiting on you.
Waiting on you.
So there's nothing you can really
to prep you up and get you right back out there and ready to go.
So there's really nothing that you can do on an individual basis, Leah.
Yeah, no, I mean, for the longest time, I've been trying to figure out how can I start a podcast? How can I want to start my own studio. I want to do this. I want to do that. Not knowing how to do it on my own. And then, I came across some very talented and intelligent individuals who also had the same vision I had. And, you're able to put your heads together. You're able to come together and you all have the same common goal. And it creates just this even bigger vision than what you even, envisioned. And so, yeah, it's like if you don't got a team, it's like almost impossible.
It was interesting because they were talking about the 85 South show. If you haven't seen the 85.
Yeah, oh my God, I saw them live in Detroit last summer. They are hilarious.
And so what the conversation was, and it was on the Breakfast Club, and the conversation was,
it got dirty. When I tuned in at the end, they was talking about I'm like, what in the world is they talking about?
But before then, they had asked DC Fly, Chico, and they had asked them if they would go back to MTV without Nick Cannon. I'm talking about emphatically all of them said nope, because they hosted the BET Awards this year.
Oh, okay.
But what they said was, and Envy was like, you wouldn't even, no, Angela Lee says, even if they told y'all they wanted y'all to host the Wildin' Out, they all said, hell no, we not going without Nick.
Period.
Nick is the one that hired us. And so DC Fly was like, that's like the principal.
Right.
I know y'all, and he said, I know y'all ain't messing with me for real. Y'all only messing with me because Nick messed with me. So why I'm not going to come back in without Nick? I thought that was huge, Leah. If we operate in that way, that say, you know what? It ain't about the dollar. If my team can't come,
period,
I don't even want your money.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go get some money. They got the hottest podcast show right now, 85 South.
Yeah.
So,
oh, yeah. They were sold out in Detroit.
Absolutely.
I went to see them, and it was, oh, my God, it was some of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And it was sold out. And I think they did like a whole weekend show, and every show was sold out.
DC Fly actually said something to your point. He said, and this DC Fly, I only know the other ones because of him. And he said, because I met him in Atlanta. And what happened was, Leah, he said he probably can bring 2,000 to 2,500 people into a venue. He said, but when he tied teamed up with his partners, they bring in 10s and 30s. And it wasn't him by himself. And he was like, if we could do this, and that's when Charlamagne came in and was like, that's what we need to see as black people. If we just understand that it's enough to go around.
It is. Matter of fact, it's beyond. You know, like
it's some real checks out here.
It's some real checks out here. And what we don't understand is that at the end of the day, God works through people. So there's like a reason why God brings people into your life. Now it's up for you to decipher what those reasons are.
What's your why?
And who's there for what purposes and why. And if they're not there for, you know, the greater purposes and they've only been brought there for a season, you need to know when to, you know, cut it off.
Oh, Leah, you touching, girl. Hey, girl. Because that's right. Because we get mad because they talked about that being cut off from MTV. And they said, hell yeah, they was pissed. But now when you get a chance to let that give you a minute, let it run its course, man, it was a stepping stone. Leah, me and you done been in some places here in the 419, you with WTLO, Channel 13, and some other places that you have done. The Juice, myself, a part of the Juice, a part of doing some of the biggest concerts here in the city. If we don't get called back, it's okay, Leah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because look where we at. God's still working in our purpose.
Yes. And this ain't even it. Like, it's like only up from here. You know, there's so many ceilings we're going to bust straight through. So it's like.
And that's where we got to remember not to don't get so frustrated when you lose something because it's not yours.
Yeah.
Even our kids, Leah, when God calls, so when we talking about a real conversation Tuesday, that's why we're the #1 urban radio podcast in the country, because this is real content. Our kids ain't our kids.
Yeah, and the best lesson I could have ever learned, or like the what I've come to the realization about that has really helped me in life is realizing that what's for me, what God has for me is for me, and nobody can take that from me, and what's not, what he doesn't have for me isn't for me, and I'm not going to have it. And so when I go throughout life, if I have an opportunity that I may have wanted, that I may have thought was for me, but the door was closed or it didn't turn out to be, I got to this place where instead of being disappointed, I'm like, well, you know what? That wasn't for me. God didn't want me to go into that opportunity. As much as I wanted it, God didn't want that for me. So now it helps curve that disappointment, because instead of being upset or mad that I didn't get an opportunity, I just say to myself, Leah, that wasn't God's plan for you.
I'm going down your lane right now. We're going down Leah Road right now because relationships. Relationships.
You sure you want to take me there, Trace?
And I'll get your ass out when we get out there. But no, Leah, with relationships that we think was for us and we wanted it to work and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And it caused friction because maybe we was trying to force something that wasn't supposed to be there anyway.
Period.
It's supposed to be served in a different way.
Yeah.
Leah, and I'll ask you the question, and those that's weighing in and grinding with us, have you ever dated somebody or wanted to date somebody and you was like, ooh, that person got this, and man, she look good, and man, I'm talking about I want my, man, I'm talking about, and then that person showed you a side that you was like, I am so glad I did not go there.
Yeah.
Or when they started talking and you was like, oh, that was what was in there. And I'm sure all of us have experienced that. You like, yeah, I want to, no, I'm cool. Thank you.
Or on the flip side, let's look at it this way too, because there's so many times that people meet someone who is, let's talk about it. That person, you don't deserve that person. Let's just be real. Like, there's some times where you've come across somebody who is a great person and you're not ready. For instance, for example, you've talked about the young lady down south, who you could have easily moved down there and be in a relationship with her and whatever. And she's a great woman,
and
a
she's
great
tuned
catch.
in. What's up, baby? Cox Media. How you doing?
Shout out to the queen. But, you said how you knew you weren't ready, and that's why you weren't ready to enter into that relationship, because you had more respect and love for her. You didn't want to you didn't want to go into a situation you weren't ready for.
Absolutely.
So
tough as hell too, Leah.
Yeah, it is. So, I guess I don't have to ask you. Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation like that? Yeah, you have. So that's a tough situation, because sometimes you get into a situation and you meet someone and you know dang well that person is not necessarily too good for you, but you're not where they're at. You know what I mean? And if you know that's a good person, and you know that they deserve great things in life, and and
I ain't gonna give it to them,
and you ain't about to give it to them, like, come on, let that person go. You know what I'm saying? Don't even play with that person.
even if that person's still pursuing you.
Even if that person's like,
because some people can't handle rejection, Leah. I'm trying to tell you, this ain't what it is. I just want to hit.
Rejection is hard, but I would rather hear that than to have to go through some bullshit to find that out.
Absolutely.
So I would rather you tell me and my feelings be hurt in that moment, because I'm damn sure get over you, nigga. Don't get it twisted. Like, she gonna get over you, but let me get over you real quick in that moment. Don't have me go into a situation where now I'm loving you and I'm interested in you and I'm intrigued by you because I thought you wanted the same things I wanted, and then you turn and flip it. You know,
absolutely,
be honest,
absolutely.
You know,
and that's what we have to teach that. We have to show. Because I always look back at when we have those aunts and we have those uncles who in our life tell you, don't be chasing them girls, don't be chasing them boys. Them girls going to be around there forever, boy. They're going to get you. They never tell you what happened when you do get that one and you get your nose open. Big shout out to everybody that bounced back from getting their nose open. Because my nose then blew, and I got some nostrils. Boy, my son's mother, thank God for my son's mother, because we're at a great spot now. Man, she had my nose open. Like, don't play with that. It was serious. My nose got open. That thing was good.
Oh my gosh.
Expect the unexpected. That's how my son got here. And it was.
Lord have mercy.
I'll share everybody just a quick story on how I met my son's mother before we go on into the show. So I'm traveling with Life. I'm his personal security, and you know, there's always women. We've been a lot of places, and she wanted to. She got in line to get an autograph. She wanted to meet Life. She fucked around and got Life. She couldn't get to him, so she got to the security.
Oh my gosh. Hear me.
Must be nice.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Life 26819, man. We had a great run. I promise you, it was a great ride.
And you got the best blessing of your life.
She did. And now we have a beautiful son, a 10-year-old.
You said Chase. She did. No, you did.
Yeah. Both of us. She got the best of me.
Oh, my goodness.
And now we share the responsibility of raising an awesome 10-year-old.
Yes.
But to you're right, Leah. Just knowing who you are, and it goes back to your why. Yeah. Leah, if you can get up in the morning and be comfortable with who you are. We talked about this as we got a chance to know each other. You were mentioning about when my checks started coming in and doing this, and I was like, Leah, what's your why? Where you trying to go? Because for some of us, we already there. We're going to show that to the world today. Some of us is already where we supposed to be. So that's why when you share that, like, I want my bank account to look a little different. I want to be able to help me and my family. I was like, okay, that makes sense now. Because sometimes people jump out there and they trying to be somebody else that I don't give a care what the next person's bank account look like. That just means I got to get my butt up and go.
Yeah,
you too,
that's
Leah.
Right. That's right. Got to get on go and just go.
And so those, again, that's Get Up, and we call it on the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Thank you for grinding with us. This has just been some real conversation as we talked about just a recap of the kids going back to school, the COVID, relationships, just kind of touching on some things that every day somebody goes through, Leah.
Yeah.
And not really want to harp on it because it is something that we want to acknowledge. We seeing again, mental health is real.
Oh man.
We saw in Philly there was another shooting.
Oh God.
And in front of the mom.
Yeah.
And it has. If you haven't seen the story, just YouTube it because it's a very daunting place to be in. And I will say just that. And I will say this: I appreciate it's not happening at a rapid pace, but I appreciate our justice system recognizing mental health.
Yeah.
It's not at a rapid pace that we need to see. But Leah, you starting to see more people who have substance.
In this situation, if people didn't hear about this story, it is breaking news. It did just recently happen. So this Philly man was shot dead in front of his mother. Allegedly, he was chasing the police with a knife, but they let off a lot of shots. Thanks to our junior engineer here, DeJuan. He showed me the video, and it was horrible. It was graphic, horrific. I don't think I'll ever get that image out of my head. And the mother was there, and she was trying to get her son to, like, you know, she was trying to get him. And you can, you know, I don't know. It just was horrible. It's sad. And he was allegedly, you know, he suffers from some mental health issues.
Absolutely.
And so it's just sad because, you know, there are other options. There were other options. Like DeJuan said, they could have tased him. They could have shot him one time in the leg or something, the kneecap, something, anything to stop him. But, you know, they let off a lot of rounds, and he was shot dead in front of his mother. And now they're protesting out in Philly, and, you know,
It's going to continue to be some.
Yeah. So prayers out to that mother and that family and just everybody affected by it.
And so
sad.
you got to, and again, rise and grind again. We want to keep the energy, because if we get caught in some of the things that we see in society, Leah, it makes it very tough.
Yeah.
And that's why we want to thank our grinders for listening. Love, Leah, man, love is
that's
such
why it's so important for us to love on each other.
Man, absolutely. And some people think, what does love look like? What the hell love got to do with it? You know what love got to do with it?
Everything.
Love can keep some people alive.
Yeah.
Love would also cost you your life.
That's true. That is true.
So it's all about how you look at love. But I would say I'd rather edge on saying, hey, DeJuan, hey, Grinders, hey, Leah, hey, Jesse, I love you, man. We had the father and daughter dance, and that was one of the things that we did a small little demonstration for black men to show how we show love. We dap up, we give head nod, we hug. And it's okay to do it. And I ain't got to be looked at as feminine because I told a brother I love you. Because I said, DeJuan, man, I love you. Man, I know your dad. I love you. DeJuan told me one time when he was like, Dad, you know Big Trees? He talked about, oh, I love that dude. and that was such a humbling moment to hear his dad say, I love that dude, because we don't hear it that much. And it looks at if you say I love a man, something wrong with you.
Right.
No.
You got to follow it with no homo or something. Like.
And so you're
and it's
right.
okay. You can say I love you. It's okay.
And still be strong.
And because y'all need that, because, you know, at the end of the day, us women can be there and we can give y'all that love and support y'all need. But y'all do need that y'all need that manly camaraderie and motivation and strength from each other. You know, there's just a strength that your brothers can give you that your woman ain't gonna be able to give you. Just like there's, you know, something she can give you that they can't.
Yeah. Period. Again, that's why we enjoy being in the studio, because we have real conversation, Leah. We have real conversation with our listeners, our viewers. Again, want to thank our grinders this morning. Make sure you share this, like us, turn on your notifications, subscribe to the YouTube page, because this is important content. This is where we get a chance to have our conversation that deals with us. And today's show, Leah, like I said, we not gonna hold no punches. You can expect the unexpected.
Yep.
And have real conversation.
That's right.
I understand too. Just taking a moment. We're gonna switch to Leah lane. Scorpio season. Happy birthday to all us Scorpio.
Happy birthday, Spider. It's her birthday. It's her birthday today. Yes. Happy birthday to our girl Spider. She definitely said when we were interviewing her, I am a Scorpio. So
and
yeah,
today
it's her birthday today.
Birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to her.
So all the Scorpios. If you know a Scorpio, hit the like button. I want you to hit the like button.
Matter of
fact, if you know a
see.
Scorpio, hit the like button. Let them know that, and put their name in the comments. Because, again, we just want to take a moment to say happy birthday on the all-new Rise and Grind Morning Show.
Yes, happy birthday to everybody.
And if there's an anniversary, if you're celebrating an anniversary, let us know. This is one of the most interactive podcast shows in the country. Want to take a moment, and when we come back, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to listen to some good music. We want to encourage everyone to vote.
Yes, absolutely.
Vote.
Vote, vote, vote. Expect the unexpected.
November 3rd election is quickly approaching, and Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose is sending an official absentee ballot request to every registered voter. But don't wait. With more Ohioans planning to vote absentee than ever, now is the time to submit your request. Polls will be open on Election Day, but you can use absentee voting as a safe and secure way to avoid Election Day crowds. Make sure you're registered to vote or get registered at voteohio.gov. Sponsored by the Ohio Secretary of State, aired by OAB and this station.
Is just around the corner, and once again, Ohioans have 3 good choices for how to vote. Polls will be open on November 3rd, and early in-person voting is available through November 2nd. You can also request and cast an absentee ballot from the convenience of your own home. No matter which method you choose, you can be confident that your vote is secure and your voice will be heard. Let's vote, Ohio. Go to voteohio.gov for voting locations and hours. Sponsored by Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose, aired by the OAB and this station.